Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt. Welcome to the New Brit Workshop. I keep telling my children to make sure they keep the tyre pressures up on their cars. It's really important. It's important for safety and it's also important for fuel economy. But you know, it's a bit of a bore going to the garage every time, paying 20 pence, 30 pence or even 50 pence just to check your tyre pressures. And you shouldn't rely on the fact that your car's had a service in the last 6 months. You really do need to check your tyres more frequently. And if you're a cyclist, then keeping those tyre pressures up will make a huge difference to the amount of effort you have to put in when you're going from A to B. So I decided to do something about it. So I contacted a company called Ring Automotive, and they make one of the most popular models of tyre inflator that's sold on the UK market. And I have it here. It's the Ring RAC 635. Now, when you buy the Ring RAC 635 and first open it up, this is what you get. It all comes in a neat little bag like so, and you undo the bag and there's the machine inside. And note there are no wires flapping around, they're all taken care of very nicely on the back here, very neatly, and the actual airline is tucked in at the side. Now the operating instructions are pictorial and they are very easy to follow. That means I can understand them. And there's some useful information on the back. It tells you what the typical pressures are for things like a football, for a lawnmower, for a bicycle, and of course one would look it up in a car instruction manual to find out what your car should be. And there's a conversion chart as well. The machine controls are very simple. There's an on-off switch here. There's a function switch here which is associated with the light. There's an off position, there's a white light, there's a flashing LED, and there's an SOS setting. And this switch allows you to change the units used for measuring pressure, and it's also used for setting the final pressure that you want to reach when you're inflating a tyre. Now on the side here is that light I was talking about, and then on the rear is the cable. And I really like this because cables annoy me when they become untidy. There's a Velcro strap that goes around here, which allows you then to unwind the cable from this holder, and then finally you can then take the 12-volt plug and plug it into the car. At the bottom here there's a set of 3 little adapters, and if I pull them out very carefully, we have an adapter suitable for a football, we have an adapter for taking you from the normal car type connector down to a bicycle connector, and we've got this other connector which is one which is a push fit because some items you just push your airline up against an aperture in order to then make a connection. Now the airline itself is tucked into the side here, and the end of this just screws onto your tyre, or indeed onto the end of any of the adapters in order to change the function. Now just some statistics you should know about. This can operate up to 80 psi or 5.5 bar. It operates at 12 volts DC and will draw up to 10 amps. Now that should be good for most sockets in the car, but do check the instructions with your particular car and its cigarette lighter. The 12 volt lead is 3.5 meters long, and the airline is 70 centimeters long. The only precautions that you should watch are you should unravel the lead completely before you use it. Don't leave it coiled up. You should fully extend the airline as well. If you're operating it for a long time, once you get to half an hour, you must switch it off and allow at least 15 minutes for it to cool down. Now compressors do get hot. That's the nature of the game, because there's a little cylinder in there, like a little engine working in reverse, going to and fro, generating the pressure, and that does generate heat. So you should allow that maximum half an hour and 15 minutes of rest time. Now it says in the instructions that this is suitable for cars, bicycles and footballs and things like that. It says it's not suitable for trucks. Now you could be using something like this at a garage if you're lucky enough to be there. You may have one of these, but if you're in your smart clothes you don't want to get all sweaty. The simple solution is to take something like this. Tucked away somewhere in the car, out of the way. All you have to do is take it out, undo the lead, unwind it, and then plug it in, like so, and then we pump the tyre up. Set the pressure that you want, and then connect it to the tyre, and then switch it on. And I'll just check the pressure with this gauge. There it is. And I'll bring this up to the camera, and I hope you can see that is 2.7, exactly where I want it. Super. And that's the job done. Put the cap back on. And packing everything else away is dead easy. Pop the 12-volt connector in there, and then wind. It shows you the direction to wind in. It's around this way. Off we go. Once that's wound on all the way, you then take this the rest of the way with this strap to there. Hold that in place and put this little bit of Velcro tab over there, and that's it. Then all I have to do is pop it back into its little bag, zip it up, and pop it away. That's it, job done. And this is a Mercedes Sprinter and a commercial vehicle essentially. And when you first connect it, it will tell you the pressure that the tyre's at the current time. And in this case it's 4.15. Now I want to get this up to 4.30, so I'm just going to dial it in. It says 4.30 and then start. And there we are, it's reached its operating pressure, and so I can now disconnect. And if your bicycle tyre has a Schrader valve, so much the better, but there are adapters provided if you have any other type of bicycle tyre. You can see I'm pretty low here, 1.2 bar. I want it to go up to 3.7, and so I've set that. Off we go. And this is going to be pretty quick because the bicycle tyre is pretty small, and so it's going to go straight up there in no time at all. And there it is, job done. And you can even tackle something like this old basketball that I found, because there's a connector set kept at the back here, and this allows me to put on a connector like this onto the end, do it up reasonably tightly. It's important to check the pressure you need, and so I've used the instruction manual to give me guidance, and it's going to be about 0.7 bar. So I'm going to get this all the way down, and what I'm going to do is to put the connector through the hole in the ball, just like so, straight in, and then turn it on. And I'm going to check the pressure. I've actually set it a little bit higher. I'm going to check the pressure as I go. And then I think that's as hard as it needs to be, and so I've turned it off. Pull this out, and that's it, job done. And put my little adapter away, and it goes with these other bits and pieces, and one part fits inside another, like so. So you form this little group like so, and then once that's together you can fit it back in here, and all those parts are held together so they won't go missing. Well, that's the Ring 635. Now the reason I chose this one to show you was because it had so many good reviews that I found on the internet. But don't take my word for it. Do a Google search on the internet, look for the Ring RAC 635 and make up your own mind. I think it's a super bit of kit. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.